So, thank you so much for joining and having this time to have this conversation. For the people that are not Latin American, how do you like to how do you pronounce your name for people that want to know?
Just Gera,
Okay.
just Gera, it's okay.
Cool, Gera. Okay, so Gera, thank you so much. I've done your peyote ceremony a couple of weeks back, and it was very powerful for me. And somebody that has a very strong connection felt such a huge respect for your work, and the level of integrity was what I really felt was the magic and what made it so special because as somebody that really always looks for the most straight way. And I remember that was one of the things that you say in ceremony that it's, to be simple. And what was the other two?
Oh, it's the way that we do the ceremonies.
Mm.
Keep it simple, keep it humble, keep it straight.
Keep it humble, keep it straight. And exactly. And that in itself is such a powerful, wise, you know, a way of understanding life and understanding how to communicate this line of work. And that was something that I really felt people need in this kind of new way that is coming forward at the moment. And so um, just interested, where do you host ceremony? Because I know you're an international man.
Well, first of all, thank you, Cassandra, Cass, for this relation, this connection, this approach. Appreciate a lot. And yeah, it was very nice to have you in the ceremony. Is has been a while since I come to Australia. The first time they invited me was in 2012. So 11 years since I am invited to lead ceremonies here. But as I received this altar in 2010, well, 2009, the grandmother, Aya, and 2010, the grandfather, Peyote. So I normally go where they're asking me. Well, after evaluation, of course, to see if it's okay, if the people are have everything, it's because sometimes the people just ask, but they are not very aware about what they are asking. But normally I work during the summertime, European summertime in Europe. Okay, they ask me to go there, different places. Normally I go to Switzerland or Austria or France or different places, and but every time also I go, every year I go to Mexico, every year I go to Brazil, every year I go to different places. I used to go to other places, but since COVID started, it has been a little bit restricted. But like Russia, I used to go a lot to Russia, but not anymore. And yeah, so it's kind of I only haven't been in Africa, but it's like just where people organize ceremonies. I'm not the kind of guy that I like to promote because I
Mm,
don't think this is the way to promote this because um, it's not something to promote in my understanding. It's something to the people to be called. And if there is some organizers that they wanna invite, it's not like a concert, It's you cannot promote this type of thing. We need to keep the like a simplicity and humbleness to understand that who is approaching from the heart and because they already have a connection or they want healing, that's okay. But by another way, I don't have any problem, and in that case, so the people they want to promote their work or do it like that, it's okay. I don't have contradiction on that. But in my personal case, I prefer to don't, just for my own way of life, you know.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I'm having this conversation with you is that there's a lot of things that people, I guess, this is, it's new in the sense that not a lot of people have really known about the work. And, I love how you call it, not just ceremony, but prayers, because for you, this is a religion and this is your work that you do. You don't do it as something that you have to hide because it is part of your culture, part of your way. And I really would love to know, like, when did you start this kind of calling, I guess?
Okay. So took me a while, a long time to first. This was naturally because I discover because my cousins take me to a special place there were petroglyphs. And that valley, we used to go a lot because my grandma and all my family from my dad is from there in the north of Chile, in the Valley Choapa, is the call it the valley. And we used to gather a lot. Every weekend we get together, like or almost, we try to go a lot there. But once I realized all these petroglyphs, all these things, I understood that looked like people were indigenous there, and they were quite quite wise people. And then I start to talk to my grandma, and realize like, oh, you are indigenous, but they were shame about. They didn't have the culture, they didn't have the wisdom or the wise ways or the practices or the vocabulary, So because they were told this is wrong. They were told, no, you shouldn't do that. They ashamed them, to be indigenous. So, and this happens so many ways, so many places. And, but I start to discover that. I start to research about my grandma and the ancestor that used to live there and the influence that Diaguita culture is the culture of where my grandma born. And all this influence, by the Inca empires and all these. So I start to get very curious. Oh, wow, what is this? And I was kind of the strange boy going to the library, like a indigenous library, the pre-Columbian library, to just know about indigenous. And there was no many people like me. And when I reached to my friends, hey, look at this music. It's like indigenous music, and everybody was like, oh, okay, interesting, but change it. they they look at me like, what's going on with you? Because everybody just like pop music or rock or just like that or heavy metal, but not these strange things. So I felt a little bit lonely, and I try really to find where is my spirituality, where is my spiritual path, where is my spiritual family. I start to miss them a lot. Like I feel this deep call of belonging to a group of people. So I start to go deep into different spiritual ways. I even went to India. One guru took me as a disciple. I have another teacher in Chile, and many people like I start to kind of help me to find because I was open to tell, to talk. Like I want to find my spirituality. I want to find my people. Anyway, so I passed through different things like a vipassana or the sacred fire of Agni-Otra. I met the master of Agni-Otra. I met different like a Buddhist teacher, like a well, it doesn't matter whom, but the important that I was trying. I was really trying to find my spirituality, and suddenly, after 4 years of just nothing, like a no touch any alcohol, any type of tobacco or marijuana or nothing. Um, I decide to go deep in my purification, deep, 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 and then along came, like without calling, it came the invitation to a ceremony. So, and I already took SanPedro by my own at the 18 to the 22 by my own, but I stopped it. I didn't feel like this is right to do it alone, and I was right. It was not. It's not easy to go in the deepness of the medicines plan, like a master plan, without the guides, without orientation. Is very, very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So after these 4 years, I decide to go with a proper preparation, with a proper diet, with a proper group, and they accept me, and I work with them, and then I continue the path like a assisting in this indigenous way, but it was different. I feel well received, and for the first time when I sat in a half moon peyote ceremony, I feel like a wow, this is what I'm looking for. This is my life. This is my family. This is where I belong. So it was very, very touching. This that stay for a long time. This feeling of, because to feel lonely, to feel that you want to belong is huge. Is very big. So when you don't have that anymore, it's like okay, but now I need to know about this. I need to know about what is the sweat lodge, what is the vision quest, what is all this path. And then I start to get deeper and deeper and deeper. That was the 2001. In the 2003, I participated in my first vision quest after a long preparation of 2 years. And then we finished the vision quest in Chile, but it was not enough for me. So I start to go out of the country to sit with other people to learn about this indigenous way. And then in 2009, I got the recognition from a Ecuadorian leader to run ceremonies after a preparation. Yes, after kind of a diet and kind of observing me. Like I feel very confident with him, and at the same time, he kind of told me, I don't want you to copy. And well, I told him I don't want to copy. I don't want to. And he told me, you don't need to do that. Yeah, because you are indigenous. You are sure. I told him, you are sure. You are like that. I respect your way, but I would love to find my way. And he told me, well, you find something, because you have to follow your heart. You cannot invent or get dressed by some way that you don't feel it. So I start by my own running, um, with the support of the elder, with the medicine of them, but under the understanding of what is sacred for me, what is divine, what is important. And after a few years, after 5 years actually, I discovered that okay, the way that I'm doing, somebody was doing the same in a close friend, and I told him, why are you doing like this, the medicine, the ceremony? I am doing exactly the same. And for the first time, I found something like that. And he told me, oh, but this is a very old altar. It's the Chacana altar of the Inca Empire. And I was, what? I didn't know that exists. I knew about the Chacana. I knew about the medicine. I knew about everything, but I didn't integrate it. So in my own approach to the medicine, looked like I did exactly the same that's
You're
supposed to
channeling.
be in
Like,
this. Well, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I cannot say challenge. It was very intuitive. It's just the respect for some timing in the ceremony. So I did it like that, start to work with ayahuasca. So was very beautiful. actually to receive this feedback. It was not from one person, it was the several people that I start to sit with that carry this altar, the Chakan altar. So they receive more an understanding of how is to work with this medicine. And by the same part, I was participating in other kind of ceremony, like a peyote ceremony, and I love it, I love it, I love it. And they grant me the altar, the blessings with a diploma, with a staff, a rattle and the fan feather and all that, what is needed to run this type of ceremony with the trust of my chief. So, but later on, I have to recognize that I always gonna respect all the teachers and always gonna be grateful to all of them. But my way didn't end there. So I wanna understand what is this love that I have, and I wanna understand where is the found, because what I found in Chile was a tradition that I love it, but I wanna understand the origin.
Mm.
So that's how I went to the Lakota people. This is how I went to the Navajo people, and there I found this treasure, this nectar of simplicity,
Mm.
this beauty of being honest, being straight, and don't flower it too much, don't over sweet it too much. And this is something that I struggle a little bit, I have to say, in Australia and in different places where it's normal for the people to flourish or uh, talk in a way that from the reality that I learned, indigenous culture in Chile, in Mapuche, in other, is very disrespectful.
Mm.
You know, like
Mhm.
you cannot tell to somebody that you don't know that is your friend, my love, for example,
Mm.
or my dear, or my, like the way people express here to be polite is kind of too sweet, too flourish, and that the only there is no problem about that, but what I see is that is direct to the personality of the people, is direct to the ego of the people, because there is the part of us that get, please, like, yes, tell me more. Yeah, I'm so divine. Yeah, you're gorgeous, you're so stunning. And no, we indigenous people, we don't talk like that. We respect that. And so it was a little bit difficult for me to to put these two worlds together, but I did it. I did it in my heart, I did it in my reality. I try to don't be so distant or so like because sometimes the indigenous way is very straight and very like not much expression of emotions or feelings. They're very respectful for that. This is very private, actually. They don't just put it out. But people in the society, they need it. They need this affection. They need. So I try to manage both worlds. Even me, I was coming from both worlds, so it was interesting to find different cultures where I was challenged to understand. Okay, not everybody's gonna understand to come to a ceremony. Not everybody's gonna understand that how good is just to sit there and stare at the fire. That's it. You
Mhm.
know, some people will be challenged. Some people have big issues with the authority, with their parents, or the authority in general. So they will have issues with me. But I understand that. So all these arrows that sometimes we receive as a medicine people, as a spiritual leader, um, I have learned to don't react, to just let it go. Doesn't matter, because it's true. Many people throw darts unconsciously or even consciously, but is coming from their ignorance, so they don't affect me. And so it's not easy to be a medicine man at all. It's not something that I want to become. It doesn't work like this.
Mm.
It's important for me to express to many people that this is not our decision. It's not our choice. It's not our will. You can become, if you really follow the track of the ancestors, but many people are coming with greedy or with jealousy or with, like this obsessivity, or like obsess, and also run away from the system. They don't match in the system. They don't have any, like I'm going to become a medicine man or I'm going to do sweat lodge from now on. And sorry, but this is not a profession.
Mm.
This is not the way to get to this path at all. So I learn a lot, but it's not easy. I have to recognize.
Like there's a real sacredness to this work that it really has to have that respect. And when you see somebody that has come from a place of really learning and understanding that, and you're having to really teach this from a place of not coming in and you're very non-judgmental. You understand that these people don't know what they don't know, and so you're here to explain it to them so that they can carry that with them from a place of awareness in the future. And that's something that is a big job, because you're the one that has to take all of the heaviness for them to be able to understand it. Like people that are very, very naive in thinking that this is something that you can do for status, or for something that is popular. And it's very, very important. That's why I'm having this conversation, to explain to people that there is a lot that, even down to the clothing, like when you say to the people, wear natural fibers. Like I remember when I was speaking to an Indigenous interpreter, when we were doing work, they said nothing synthetic, nothing plastic, nothing that hasn't come from the earth, because the earth understands that that is not natural, and the earth is a consciousness that you're working with that deserves very high respect. And that's something that you're bringing to this work. You're bringing that information to people.
Yeah, yeah, it's so well basic, no? Really, like we need to understand that there is a step by step that we need to respect. We cannot jump. It's impossible to jump. If you want to jump, life will catch you up. You
Mm.
know, it's like a we don't generate karma. Don't generate karma anymore. We need to kind of learn the way, and to learn the way first is just try to be a good student.
Mm.
Basic, simple. You
Mm.
know, just a good student. It's not much requirement. There's not much like a demanding. It's just learn to be a good student. That's mean if you wanna, you have a heart, you have a love for the fire, you have a love for the nature, you have a connection, like a true deep respect. Start to work on yourself. That's the first step. You know, that's why we got designed this path as a first you have to do your vision quest.
Mm.
You need to understand what is this energy around you, why you are there, where you're coming from, where you're going, why you're alive, really, beyond to have family, beyond to have a work or a family or a place to live. No, why you're alive. This is not why you're alive. This is part of life. Yeah. But there is an intention, there is a highest purpose, there is something that we need to achieve, and it's not something to invent. We need to remember that.
Mm.
And there is some certain ceremonies needed in life that help us to access to this memory. Not everybody need those ceremonies. It's true. There are some people very conscious about who they are. But for in general, we do need to understand, and of course, it's not only who we are. what we are been catching, what we have been catching on the way. Indigenous people understand that when we face the nature, when we are there in this loneliness, sorry, there is something strange, there is something magic, there is something that is beyond the reason, that we have a mask and this mask get obvious. So we face the mask, we realize, oh my God, I have been lying to me. I have been inventing stories about me, and it's just a construction. It's not true. This is not me. You know, all this thought, all this idea, all this reaction, this is not me. You know, all these interpretations, this is not me. This is just like I'm trying to defend something that we don't need to do that, you know? So when you get to the Vision Quest, it's a special place where all this drop down, like a melt down. It's like all the layers, they are gone, and you see the reality as it is. And there is where we start to learn about responsibility. You know, to be responsible of us, responsible of our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, our word. You know, we learn how to, we need to walk our word. We need to make it happen. We cannot say, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this, but then we don't do anything. And we don't even give explanation to the people that we have an agreement or with ourselves. So we get in this strange loop of lies, you know? So not only Vision Quest, we need to pass through. There's other ceremonies like a initiation, proper initiation, like a sun dance, other ceremonies. You know, there's many ceremonies in the native way that gonna help us to build this security of who we are, you know, and come back home. This is the way come back home. Once you face and you understand what you are not, like I'm not the objects of the sense, I'm not the sense, I'm not the reaction, I'm not my mind, I'm not my judgment, I'm not this, I'm not that. There is not, you disidentify with all that. Because remember, indigenous people always teach us that don't identify. It's not your car, it's their car. It's not my home, is their home, you know? It's not our land. No, it's Pachamama. We don't belong, things don't belong to us. We belong to the earth, you know? So this disidentification, this possessivity help us to rebuild ourselves, okay? To come back, to give space to the spirit so he can land, you know, so he can take, so he can have space. How are we going to give really like we want to be spiritual, but we don't give any space for the spirit, you know? It's kind of contradictory, and especially about these people that they have never have any clue, any practice of spirituality, and suddenly, oh, because it's trendy, I'm gonna go to ceremony too, and I'm gonna dress like this. I'm gonna put my Ganesha T-shirt, or I'm gonna dress in white, and it's so fake, my dear friends. It's like we cannot act like this. Well, I cannot tell you what to do. First of all, I'm nobody to tell you what to do, but. But in my opinion, uh, this is a long path to understand that if we really want to go to the healing, it's just the decision to take to understand that yes, I need healing. That take a long time, you
That's
know,
a
because normally it's like we are in a process that we're stuck in a process, okay, or in difficulties. We're not going to do much about it. It's only when this process just is overwhelming, just we are completely under the shit, lot of issues, then we really trash, then we sometimes realize, uh, I don't like it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like it. What is happening? I don't like my life. I don't like me. How I am reacting. Why I'm so aggressive. Why I'm so judgmental. And then when we touch down is when slowly, slowly, slowly we understand how important it is to be simple, how important it is to be humble, how important it is to cultivate the effort to treat us better and treat everything better, you know? But need that, I think. I don't know why we need it. Some people don't need it, you know? Um, I didn't need it to go down and get full into the drugs, or because many people that are coming to the medicine path are coming from addiction. It's
Mm-hmm.
more than 60% of the people that come, you know? They have a clue, they have an idea, but they are in addiction, they are in abuse, they are like a really hurting themselves, you know? So it's a big percentage. There's another people that they're tourists, just tourists. They're, I don't know what is this. I want to know, you know. There's others that they come with the fat ego, like a, oh yes, I'm gonna become a medicine man or a shaman. I'm gonna become a woman, like a priestess, and blah blah blah. Good luck. And very few percentage is the people who really understand. I'm hurt. I need a change. I need something. You know, I'm craving for healing. So we have a multiple different possibilities of people that can approach to this, but remember, this is not for everybody, my dear friends. Okay, so it's challenging, it's difficult, it's not easy to sit in a peyote ceremony or in an ayahuasca ceremony and deal with our own process, because we used to project too much. But doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. And actually, that's mean that if we have the clarity that these challenges is just proving us,
Mm-hmm.
proving our intent, proving our intention that can we really walk this path? Because it's easy to go out and eat whatever, break the diet. It's very easy to go and judge or get silly, drunk, and whatever, you know? But difficult could be to just stay, continue in the healing path. Remember, not everybody, as I told you, gonna feel this call, but those of you that you have an interest, um, take a deep check on you, that you are not moved by greedy, jealousy, and all these phantoms, these obsessors, you know, because actually we go there to heal that. We go to the sermons to cure that, of the sickness of the world, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you're saying, there's this huge disconnect that people don't even have the ability to understand that they haven't fully integrated within themselves to be able to really be available for the people that are coming, because it really takes somebody that has done work, integrated, understood, has that connection, because all of those elements are part of the ceremony, are part of the prayers, are part of the connection. And that's, you know, for somebody that really understands that and sees that and knows that what that feels like from a complete cellular experience, the energy of the fire, the energy of the altar, the energy of the way that the teepee is used, all of those things are very, very powerful. And when you're not working with it with complete alignment, there is so much that can go on that people are not aware of. And that's something that is really, important to understand, because in the work that you do, you are taught all of these elements. And I'd love to understand from an outsider's perspective, like how important all of the elements, like the fire, the singing, what do those really represent?
Okay. So you touch a topic that I like it. I like it because people used to say what this represent. And I just came from Byron Bay. We have a beautiful meeting there. And there came this energy to tell what I want to say now. Is like who told you the fire represent the Great Spirit? That's a lie. No, the fire don't represent the Great Spirit. It is. It is the manifestation of the Creator. It is. Pachamama doesn't represent our Mother Earth. She is the Mother Earth, you know? So our problem as a modern society is that we lost the relation. We lost the way of looking or way of recognition because we got caught it with our ancestors. Too much war, too much denying or hiding the ancestral way.
Mm,
So we lost it, you know. So today we see a fire and it's just a element that we can put, you know, our meat or our food, cook it. But how are we gonna go back to understand that the fire is alive? How are
mhm,
we gonna go back to understand that he's talking and he has a feeling and he has prayers? That is an immense power. Is the creator, is part of our life. Without him in our body, is we don't exist.
mm,
Is integration of the sacredness in us need practice. It's not just idea.
mm,
If we don't give thanks to the water every morning, or when we wake up, we say, "Oh, so good. I can breathe. I can breathe. I'm alive." And like this beauty of happiness that this air give us or the element give us. How are we gonna go back? When we are in automatic mode, when we have to wake up, stare the alarm, stare the phone, answer and go fast, and we don't give ourselves time to just say good morning to the water, good morning to the plants. So um, our native indigenous community, uh, it has a different understanding of the reality.
mm,
The reality is not separated. First of all, we are not separated. We're not like um, the way of communication and talking is different. So their mind is different. Uh, our understanding, what is first? First is the family. It's not the one, the unity, the singularity, the personality, the ego. It's not that. First, we have us. First, there is the creation. First is the universe. So first is the family. We cannot divide us and say, me first. No, because I belong to a community. I belong to a family. So I represent somebody. I cannot just, wow, do whatever I want. No, because also the ancestors are looking at me.
mhm,
So it's important to understand that for me, in my way, I walk this singularity, this personality, and all this ego, and I found that wow, it's amazing. But in a moment, I realized I don't want to be alone. Just that. I don't want the people to be alone. And this idea of the society to be independent, I didn't like it. It's not well. It's not good for the people.
mm,
Independent means create distance or
mhm,
create separativity. And come on, we depend all the time from each other. We are people that we need contact, we need togetherness, we need the fire, we need the water, we need them. We cannot live without that.
mhm,
And if you are in a frenetic way of the society, getting like a machine, And you think, oh no, yeah, I can survive like that. Yeah, I want to see you how long you will survive.
Mm,
Maybe for now it's okay, but in a moment, karma will chase you. You
mm,
know, it's like the bill need to be paid, my dear friend. We cannot run away from the the bad treatment of the society. We have to face our demons. We need to face our misery. We need to face our shadows. We need to face them. Is to study, is not to judge, is not to condemn, is not to separate it. Okay? Is not to divide. Because many people just divide and conquer. This is the way they do it. And this is happening in our communities too. And I'm pretty aware of that. That many people, oh no, uh, they fly over another place, they go there, they're like nobody know them, so hey, welcome, yeah, welcome, and they start to do a work they're not entitled.
mm,
They don't have the blessings to run that kind of ceremonies because nobody knows. They can tell whatever,
mm,
they tell their lies, and they start to do their work, but it's their group, it's my group, don't. And what is the particularity of these people? That they talk bad of others,
mhm,
so the others don't go there. And it's like a sectarism, create sectors, create like a, is exactly like that, conquer and division. And I don't know if you guys, but I don't want to go to these people. And these people need us as a community to embrace us, embrace them, to tell them, it's okay. Anybody can commit mistake. Everybody, we are human. Okay, don't worry about that. Please excuse yourself if you commit some issues or problems, but come back.
mhm,
Come back. We are tired of these divisions, and especially now that the you see how much problem we have. You see the war there. You see the COVID here. You see the manipulation everywhere. So we cannot stand anymore in that things, and we need to get together and organize ourselves. You know. And I was talking there in Cairns with some people of Cairns. I was talking with some people in Byron Bay, also in Sydney. How important now is for you guys to get protect. You
mhm,
know and protect your spirituality, protect your practices. And I am willing to help in that because I have the document to do it. I have the affiliation to reglementary spiritual way. This is what I am part of it. You know, we don't mess around. We're legal. You know, so we find the way to have a good alliance with the system. You
mhm,
know, and then because it's important. If you, any of you that you're gonna look this beautiful video, maybe you have some feathers, maybe you have some leathers, maybe you have some bones, maybe you have some drums or rattle or any instrument or any something sacred that you treasure that you want to travel with it, like a go from Sydney to Perth maybe to participate in another ceremony. What about the police? If they ask you, what you gonna say? What you gonna do? Because in many ways they wanna just treat us as, I don't know why they treat us like that. Why
mm,
they treat this is forbidden? Why this is forbidden? Who tell them that's forbidden? But we found a way in the tradition. And you mentioned something that I wanna I wanna say. For me, this is not a religion. For me, this is a spirituality. There is a big difference.
mhm,
Okay, we don't have a leader. Great Spirit is our leader. The divine is our leader. Okay, and we follow the leader. And some of us, we became spiritual leader. We have a big responsibility, but we are the same people. We shouldn't have any difference. Where actually we should be more human and not put it in a pedestal or being like a claim as perfect. No, don't expect that from spiritual people neither, or spiritual leaders. Never.
mhm,
Actually, we should understand that, of course, we need example on life, but come on, it's too much judgment in this spiritual world, you know. So I want to really invite you all to be part, if you really feel it, that you want to heal something, that you want to change your life, that you want to find yourself, that you want something good for you, my dear friends. Just get the courage together to confront your shadows. That's it. And we're not going to fight with the shadows. It's not about that. It's not a fight. Actually, we're going to win without confrontation.
Mm.
This is what we do. It's just understanding that the Great Spirit, the Mother Earth, the elements are by our side. They always have been, if we do in the right way, if we come in with good heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I find from the perspective of doing ceremony, it's not a judgmental place. There's no discrimination. Nobody's there looking at what you've done, where you've come from. And I love how you always say it doesn't matter what's happened. It's all that matters is how do you show up, are you ready to be there to do this work for yourself? And that's what's really important, that people understand that that step is a very big transformation in itself. And I see a lot of times people that want to do this, all of their stuff comes up, that before ceremony they say I really want to do it, and then before ceremony all this stuff comes up. you know, I always say to my students that be prepared for these old things to come up, because you're going to go through a huge transformation. So it is part of that process. It's part of what's necessary for that transformation. And if that is happening, what do you say to people that are really stuck in that?
Um, to look their intention, to observe their intention. That's the focus. That's the thin light that's gonna show you the path in your darkness. Okay? We need to be strong with our determinations, with our intentions. Imagine you're not strong with your intention. Imagine I'm gonna put an example so you understand. Um, I really like this girl. Oh, she's so cute. We have such a connection. My intention is to have a relationship with her. What happens if my intention is weak? I'm gonna be miserable. What kind of person I'm gonna be? Or another, oh, I really want to have this kind of job where I can have time for myself. Have time to spend with my children and with my wife. This is what I want, okay? But then I don't do anything. So what kind of intention you have? You really want to change? You really want something better for you? That's will move whatever. This is the most important. Maybe you give too much importance to other things. Yes, maybe that's the problem. That the intention is not if for is not no está fortalecida, is not strong enough. You know, you need to make this intention more strong. Like how you gonna do it? How you gonna have happiness, deep happiness? Because people sometimes think, I'm okay. I don't need nothing in my life. It's because they don't know themselves. They're super superficial. It's always in the surface. They don't go down. They don't go deep. And every time they go deep, it's like scary and run away. So they will never allow themselves to enter in a process that force them to get out of the comfort zone. You know, And so we need to understand that if you really want to be real with yourself, real with who is around you, uh, we need to understand, go deep,
Mm.
go deep.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we don't do it, we don't take this opportunity for ourselves. We don't catch it. Um, then the children put us in problems,
Mm.
or the society, the ambient, put it in troubles. And we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to react. We don't know how to process. We are over processed. I don't want you to have this done. I don't want you to have problem in your family. But if you go and work in yourself, it will be more easy. That's the point. We don't want you to be native or put feathers around. It's not about that. It's about the ceremonies are built to help the people. That's it.
Mm.
Doesn't matter what type of need you have. Uh, Always you're gonna receive benefit,
Yeah.
even if you face a very shadow thing,
Mm.
even if you open a dark trauma, even that, the process will always be good, you know.
Mm.
And of course, you're not gonna resolve everything in one ceremony. No, forget about this illusion. So we need to insist in walk this path, keep on going, keep on going. So I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to come. I came in February last, and now I'm here in September. But I already have 2 calls to come back in December, in the next chapter of this um, inner work. So look like we're gonna organize something with Cass, guys. So take this opportunity.
Mm.
It's not all the time, you know. And I do can recommend some people here in Australia, but they are not more than this.
Mhm.
And this is a reality that happened here, that there's many fake people. I don't want to point finger or talk about anybody. I'm not this kind of gossiping people person, but it's something that is true. It's true. There's many people like are doing things just for power, just for manipulation of the people, just for attention, just for money, just for sex. Behave, be careful, protect yourself, take care of those. There
Mhm.
is fake people everywhere.
Mm.
So we need to take care of that, you know?
Yeah. Like if you, because obviously with this line of work, you're speaking to the elders, and this is really a big movement, doing medicine. Why do you feel like the medicine has come at this time? And what do they say in terms of what the planet is going through?
Okay. Uh, I'm here as a last day, okay? Tomorrow I will be in United States, and I am invited to 2 places, and I need to talk to the elders there. They want me to talk. They want me to tell what's going on. Okay, I'm like a messenger, just that of, and I need to speak what's going on here in Australia and in other places that I have visited. Okay,
Yeah.
and they really want, they want to understand what's going on here, because it's a lot of happening there
Mm.
in their own reality, and these people are very sensitive. These leaders, and they're not very worried about the illusion that is happening and spreading all around. They're not very worried because they have faith that we will have a good destiny,
Mm.
and that teach me a lot always, that it doesn't matter what happened, it doesn't matter how difficult it is, they continue with their own life. They continue with their sweat lodges, they continue with their sun dances, they continue with their ceremonies, they continue doing the blessings. So we cannot stop. We have to continue. And many indigenous, they think, is more than think, they really believe that if we don't continue, life will stop. The sun will not rise, you know, the season will not happen.
Mm.
Like we are part of the cycles.
Mm.
We need to move this energy too. We need to move it. We need to make it happen. And this is very important for everybody because we are under oppression. And sometimes when we are getting oppressive, people get very fragile and freeze. So what happened to all of you during COVID time? Take a look. What happened really? What did you did? Yeah, almost everybody get frustrated. We couldn't get out of the house or out of the neighborhood, and super complicated. But doesn't matter if you continue with your practices. That's the point,
Mm.
you know. So we should continue with our practice. We should continue praying. We should continue doing offerings.
Mm.
I talk a lot about that in the north, about what's going on with your offerings. We need to give thanks to Pachamama, to the elders, to the ancestors. We need to be grateful, you know. We need to express this. It's not just, I'm happy, thank you. No, it doesn't work like that. You don't live off air, my dear friend.
Mhm.
You don't live off air. And if even you have air, we should be grateful about that.
Mhm.
So we need to come back to this simplicity to be grateful. Listen well. Come back to the simplicity to be grateful because people who are not simple, people who are very important, they're not grateful.
Mhm.
I'm too important. I'm too busy to do this simple act of gratitude. You know, my life is too occupied to just stop and offer a flower to the water. You
Mhm.
see? So we need to come back to the simplicity of life. And naturally, always when we have like a good feeling, when we have prosperity, you know, when, for example, our people in South America, when they harvest the corn or they harvest the food, there is a part of that say, thank you, Pachamam, this is for you. Or
Mhm.
thank you, ancestor, this is for you. Okay? And there we create a reciprocity. We create this circle. We call it I need, you know. I'm grateful, I give you, you know. I is balanced. There is harmony, there is balance, there is um, generosity from our part. The Mother Earth is super generous. We need to be generous too.
Mhm.
So if you want to uh, walk in some kind of non-judgment or coming in a way that your spirituality is more practiced, um, be be real, be real with the generosity
Mhm.
and do charity. Listen to me. Do charity. I'm gonna repeat it. Do charity without expecting nothing. Just be good. Just be good. Don't wait for recognitions or, oh, this person did that. He's so good. No, don't wait for nothing. But do charity.
Mhm.
I try to do charity. I every single ceremony I have somebody that cannot pay, you know, or cannot achieve to give some contribution or cannot give some any balance. It's okay. We can find a way, but
Mhm.
not because you don't have money you cannot come to a ceremony. No,
Mhm.
you know, or not because you're not. We don't know you. We're not gonna welcome you in our circle. No, it's not like that. So, and remember, there's many people that will not accept you because they don't know you. Mm, it's a reality.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, look, I really appreciate all of this, truth and it's something that, I feel a lot of people will really resonate with, because there is a lot that is not said that people need to hear or understand. And it's so good that, you will be coming to Australia and sharing and continue to do this work, because the reality is we do need to be cleansing, we need to be connecting, we need to be coming together, and doing that regularly, not just like, oh, I've done it once, I'm done, because that's where a lot of people are a little bit, lost in the illusion of what it's going to take, because of all the
Yeah,
changes that are happening.
yeah.
Um, do you know if there is anything that's happening with the 5G? Because I feel like that whole thing has kind of disappeared from the conversation, and that's something I'd be interested if you do have any opinion about it.
Okay, and also, I'm sorry I didn't answer your previous question about what's going on in the world.
Mhm.
But sometimes I get too passionate about some other topics. And look, my friends, not everybody were ready to understand certain things.
Mm,
We are living in a strong illusion. And this illusion, we need to learn how to deal with the illusion. Okay? Um, for example, some people know there is a system is oppressive, and they lie, and they try to control us and manipulate us in many ways, like since the beginning. 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G is part of the same, just different layers of putting bad energy on us. Okay, some people know, some people don't care, some people don't know nothing, and some people are really naive about, they don't want to know. They
mm,
don't want to know. But we need to be fair. We need to be compassionate, and we cannot force anybody to understand what's going on. Okay? But something that I do respect a lot is that who told you consciousness is about to uh, see this stellar spaceship, or see this magic angel, or see these gnomes? Consciousness, consciousness is about knowing, my. It's so simple. It's about knowing. Do you know who you are? Uh, then you have work to be conscious.
mm,
Okay? Uh, if you know that 5G, for example, is toxic and doesn't help us when we dream, when we sleep, well, why you don't turn off your 5G from your phone or the modem during the night? It's
mm,
super simple. I do it every day.
mm,
Even when I'm gonna have a nap, I turn it off so I can sleep well, I can rest well. It's because you're lazy, maybe because you don't want, maybe because you don't know, but we need to start to take care, okay? And there is other ways to do it also. Maybe why you don't get a organite pyramid or device organite that help us to put in positive all these energies,
mm,
like ionize the ambient. I don't know if you understand what is that, but it's like a put prana in the ambient, like a put in positive.
mm,
So neutralize all the negativity of the um, radioactivity of the internet, or any kind of radioactivity,
mm,
even the microwave. That is very toxic, by the way. I don't recommend you to use the microwave for your food, but many people don't care.
mm,
So it's up to you guys to get informed. We cannot chase you to get better.
mm,
Nobody can force you to to get conscious about what we are living.
Mm,
But doesn't change nothing. That doesn't change nothing. The oppressing is still happening. The oppressors are still the same.
mm,
Is their part of the job? They are doing what they have to do. We need to do what we need to do. Okay. So if you can find another way, more healthy, of resting or taking care, use it.
mm,
Use it. And but um, remember that the Great Spirit is in charge. Everything is part of the unity.
mm,
We are the people who get in duality. The duality doesn't exist in the nature, my dear friends. That good or bad doesn't exist.
mm,
Let me put you an example. Okay, there is a lightning, okay, a storm, okay, big storm. The lightning hit a big tree, and the big tree fall down in the house and kill the cat, the dog, and two people. Where is the guilty? Who is guilty?
mm,
The people? You is your problem. You didn't run away when the storm was. What?
mm,
No, this tree. We should cut the tree. We never take it. What?
mm,
Now this freaking weather. Why the weather? Always trying to see the guilty somewhere when no, my friends, this is no, the guilty doesn't exist. We shouldn't punish
mm,
neither for any like that. We shouldn't judge for any like that. So there is some people working for that control. They're working hard to manipulate us, to even change our genetic and mess around with the thing. I don't want to talk about it,
mm,
but there's other people that we choose to have a healthy way. Okay, so there is ways to deal with this. Okay, I didn't receive the thing
mm,
neither, and I'm here and I have my card
mhm,
and I can travel everywhere. We can find a way. I have documents from the Native American Church as a minister, spiritual minister, and because of this document, I also receive other documents. And I have my daughter here, Cora. She lives in Sydney, and they were pushing the childcare to put the vaccination. And I have this document that says, sorry, because I'm part of this tradition, this religious way that doesn't allow me. And they accept the document.
mm,
So we are getting in a moment of the time of this reality that we need to find the way to have harmony, my dear friends. We cannot fight the system. Don't fight the system, okay? The system, don't worry about the system. It's part of the illusion.
mm,
But we need to study the system. We need to know how to don't be used by the system, how to be don't trapped by the system. But don't fight with this and don't try to change it. We have to the capacity to go beyond that. This is just a task.
yeah,
It's not the end of the world, as they want to tell you. Now they're gonna bring all this spaceship invasion and blah 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 everywhere. Don't get confused, my dear friends. You just keep doing what you need to do. This is what I can say as a little doorway of there's a lot to talk about that, but for now,
thank you. Yeah. And I love that that is exactly what I feel like is the answer. The illusion is very organized, so we need to get just as organized.
yep.
It's time for us to become efficient, to become in cooperation and make it a change for our own life to be so much more better without any of that stuff. So I really appreciate you making that stance that, it is really time to make that change, to make that transition. Um, and, as a mother who's pro-choice, I didn't want to, do the whole vaccination for my children just out of respect of, you know, their body, and it's the choice that I should have as a mother. And because I couldn't get them into any daycare, I started a non-vax daycare, and it's run by other mothers that are exactly the same. And you know what's beautiful? All of the mothers now have community where we can come together with our children, where we have the ability to have the choice that we want. And that's the medicine that has come out of that reality. You know, we don't have to choose to do what everyone else has done. And the way forward is that we can empower ourselves to live a better way.
Yeah. Yeah, but you touch a delicate point, my dear. It's very delicate because we cannot judge the people who took the vaccine.
Never, never.
We cannot condemn or try to separate ourselves from their choice, you know. It's just to try to put it together, actually, you know. They
Absolutely.
this was very well planned, this strategy, you know, and they're gonna try to do it again. And we need to try to get better organization. That's true. How to really um, how to pass through these challenges. But
Mm,
remember, it's just challenges. It's not gonna be there forever. It's just transit. It's like a transformation. It's not always like that. It's
yeah.
just a moment, you know. Yeah,
Growing.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're doing that in your community. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your time. I'm definitely gonna wrap up because I know that you're heading back tonight, but I'm excited that you'll be back, and we'll definitely be making the, you know, times available for anyone that is interested for December, because that's really just around the corner. And future, if anyone is interested in watching this, we'll have a way for you to get in contact if this is something that you are interested in doing. So, yes, thank you so much for your time with so much respect.
Yeah, it was great to have you in the ceremony, Cass, and I really like our approach. I think it's a big possibility of expanding this, make it bigger and help a lot of people. So, yeah, we have something in our hands that we should take care. So, thank you for this new opportunity to work together, Cass. I appreciate a lot.
Thank you.
Blessings, and we keep in touch.
No, definitely. Blessings.
Aho. Bye
Aloha.
bye.
Bye.